Hi everyone, my name is Addison Stelwag and this is my digital reflection project for literature and the arts. This class has shaped so much of how I think about teaching, identity, and equity. Today, I'll walk you through my 5 biggest takeaways that will stay with me as a future educator. And I just want to explain the project, so each slide you will see a collage that I made first, and then after the collage is the slide of takeaways, and I just explain everything, so the first slide is the collage, and second slide is my takeaway from each collage. My first takeaway is how diverse books matter. My first major takeaway is the importance of being able to find and choose diverse books for my future classroom. Representation shapes identity. Students need to see themselves in stories, but they also need opportunities to learn about identities different from their own. In this class, resources like literacy websites, the Personal Resource Collection, and books such as Bathe the Cat and May Among the Stars showed me how powerful diverse literature truly is. KMP's library also expanded my understanding of how intentional we must be when selecting text. As a teacher, I want to go beyond the white middle class cookie cutter perspective students usually see. This takeaway will guide my classroom library, hopefully forever. Having the ability to find diverse books is important to my future students because this fosters their individual identities as well as allowing them to learn about others around them and their identities. My second takeaway is how lesson planning equals advocacy. My second takeaway is learning how to lesson plan is an act of advocacy. Having access to a broad text set, a more focused text set tied to state standards, and the lesson that Molly and I created together helped me understand how planning directly supports student identity development. Lesson planning is not just organization. It's how I make learning accessible, equitable, and meaningful. It's how I create structure, support growth, and honor the different needs my students bring with them. I plan to show this every day in my classroom within lesson planning and just how I show students and teach them lessons, but based on equity and just how they view themselves in the world around them. Being able to lesson plan and being introduced to lesson planning is crucial for advocating for my students' differing needs as well as helping students foster the growth of their own individual identities. My third takeaway is how guest speakers build the theme of context. The guest speakers enhance my understanding of diverse context. Hearing Kate talk about how she selects books helped me see the power of intentional curation in my own library. Listening to Kevin discuss LGBTQ plus underrepresentation reminded me of how much work schools still need to do, and that I want my future students to feel safe and seen in my classroom. Additionally, Carissa's guest speech showed me the value of integrating music meaningfully into my classroom. These experiences gave me real-world insights that I can pass on directly to my future students in my classroom. Guest speakers taught me to enhance diverse contexts, allowing me to give my students real-world insight into jobs and experiences around them. I hope to do this by integrating guest speakers into my classroom and just allowing students to see the world around them. My fourth takeaway is understanding the power of text sets and building an equitable curriculum. Whether it was my first broad text set that we did in groups, the second more focused one, or the KMP example, each one taught me how to construct learning experiences around context, theme, and student need. Text sets let me collect literature, identity, and standards all at once. They gave me a strong foundation for teaching equity, not just as an abstract idea, but as something embedded in my daily classroom choices. I hope to be an equitable educator, and it starts with text sets. The context of text sets are crucial to learning and becoming a more equitable educator. Being able to make lesson plans with certain contexts and ideas expressing certain topics and curricula. My fifth and final takeaway is how drama and performance can transform learning. Experiences like the Freedom Summer reenactment in the top left corner, or the yoga movement studio that Molly and I made in the bottom right, showed me how drama activates multiple parts of the brain, makes our learning more memorable, and helps students explore identity in creative ways. I hope to use drama to invite my students to move, imagine, collaborate, and experience content, not just to read it, but to engage multiple parts of their brain. Using drama will enhance classroom engagement by allowing students to be creative and see others' identities, as well as advocating for creative ways to promote learning. In conclusion, literature and the arts has prepared me in many ways I didn't expect. I learned how to choose texts with purpose, build identity-affirming lessons, integrate diverse contexts, create equitable text sets, and use drama to bring learning to life. Most importantly, this class taught me that my job as an educator is to advocate for every student, honoring their identities, uplifting their voices, and making sure every learner feels seen and valued. And I hope to do just that in my future career. Thank you.